Bryce Mitchell just survived a brutal knee, lost his memory mid-fight, and still beat a Dagestani warrior, but what he said after the fight shocked the entire MMA world. Bryce Mitchell made a high-stakes move by dropping from featherweight to bantamweight after a tough loss to Gene Silva earlier this year. His debut at 135 pounds came against a dangerous and seasoned Dagestani striker, said Nurmagomedov, at UFC Abu Dhabi, and it quickly turned into a brutal war of attrition. In the first round, Mitchell was nearly finished after Nurmagomedov landed a vicious flying knee that rocked him so badly. He later confessed he couldn't remember most of the round. "Somebody told me he kneed me," Mitchell said after fight. "I believe you. I just wasn't there for it." Despite being badly hurt, Mitchell dug deep and relied on his wrestling, toughness, and recovery to regain control in the later rounds. His relentless pressure and grappling began to wear Nurmagomedov down, shifting the momentum as the fight progressed. Though visibly battered and exhausted, Mitchell pushed through the pain and did just enough on the ground to sway all three judges in his favor. This victory marked Mitchell's first win since the controversial stretch earlier in the year, and proved he could still compete at a high level after dropping weight. He later described the fight as the hardest of his life, admitting that "everything on my body hurts" in the post-fight scrum. If you're enjoying these raw behind-the-scenes UFC updates, hit that subscribe button and join MMA Thread. We bring you 2 to 3 fresh fight stories every single day. Following his gritty victory over said Nurmagomedov, Bryce Mitchell wasted no time making a statement on social media, and he did it in true Bryce fashion, bold and mocking. In an Instagram story, Mitchell took a direct jab at Islam Makhachev's iconic quote, the one where Makhachev once told Daniel Cormier to send your son 2 to 3 years to Dagestan and forget. That phrase has become synonymous with Dagestan's reputation for building elite, relentless fighters. But after defeating a Dagestani himself in a grueling, grappling-heavy bout, Mitchell flipped the script. Laughing into the camera, he said, "Send him to Arkansas, 2 to 3 years and forget about it." This tongue-in-cheek remark wasn't just a personal victory lap. It was a shot at the aura of Dagestani dominance in the UFC. Mitchell used the win to assert pride in his southern roots, turning Arkansas into a metaphorical fighter factory. In contrast to Dagestan, though said Nurmagomedov isn't directly related to Khabib or Islam, he still represents that Dagestani fighting pedigree, making Mitchell's mockery land effectively with fans, especially given the fight's brutal nature and Mitchell's comeback story. After surviving a near knockout and grinding out a win over said Nurmagomedov, Bryce Mitchell made it clear in his post-fight interview. This wasn't just a test of skill, it was a test of faith, heart, and survival. Mitchell described about his feeling like death. He recalled moments during the fight where he was fighting for air, seeing lights, and just trying to stay conscious. Between rounds, he leaned on the encouragement of his corner, but more importantly, he said he was praying mid-fight, literally asking God to keep him alive in the octagon. "I really was praying during the fight, like, Jesus, just keep me alive." He credited that spiritual strength and his belief in God for carrying him through what he repeatedly called the hardest fight of his life. In his post-fight octagon interview with Michael Bisping, in front of a largely Muslim crowd in Abu Dhabi, Mitchell quoted Ephesians 6 verse 12 from the Bible, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities." This bold moment stood out, both for its spiritual conviction and for how deeply personal it was. Mitchell wasn't just fighting an opponent. He saw it as a spiritual battle, and that perspective helped him endure when his body nearly gave out. The combination of mental toughness, religious faith, and raw determination turned what looked like a potential first-round finish into a comeback victory that reaffirmed Mitchell's presence in a new weight class. From shocking wins to wild post-fight quotes, MMA Thread covers it all. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily dose of UFC drama and fight news.